Well, interesting. Channel. Yeah. Yeah. Where am I? There I am. All right. Wow. That was what the hell? That's never happened before. um hopefully hopefully my mic is okay for about 5 or 10 minutes into the last show. My mic made me sound like I was talking through a styrofoam cup. It eventually went away, but whatever. Hey, everybody. Hi, everyone. Can everyone hear me? Hey! You guys in the back?
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on a tight frame. Long game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.
The Klayre Avalon show, you motherfuckers.
Normally, normally I'm doing music by now. or rather I'm playing music by now. I'm also kind of fucking around with a quasi, like a semi new camera angle, as you can plainly see. My camera's normally 2 more feet away from me than it is now. But yeah, I've got some brainstorming stuff going on in my mind right now. So throughout the coming shows, you're going to not like crazy fucking edits or anything, but edits nevertheless. Because I've just been changing my mind on a lot of things. So yeah, I'm gonna be going through a few things and seeing how different things feel and whatnot. Doesn't matter to anybody but me. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I almost want to stop right now just to see if my mic is okay, because I can't tell. Oh, I know what I can do. I can watch myself on my phone. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me try this. I've never done this before. Twitch. So let me see. Yeah, whatever. There's a fucking ad. Like, really? Come on. Okay. Okay, good. I'm coming through fine. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, that was that came out of nowhere last time when I sounded like I was talking through the inside of a fucking styrofoam cup. Um, wasn't happy to see that return. I've been through a fucking myriad of audio, like sound and audio issues. So, yay, we're cooking with grease today. Yeah, going back to the music thing. Normally, I do it or feature it. I haven't, and normally by now I'm rocking some sort of tune. But with all the brainstorming I have in my mind right now, moving forward, I don't know if I want to continue with the music thing. Although it is a little, it is a bit of a fun little sidebar for the show, I suppose. Neat thing is about having music integrated to what you do is if you can't think of anything to say, you can just turn the fucking music up, which is something I kind of lean on quite often. Well, not really, just yeah. It's both for myself and for you folks. So whatever, fuck ever, fuck ever. I'm usually over in the music section too, like predominantly. I've been here before in the just chatting and the talk show podcast categories. But it didn't fit at the time. I don't know. People have called my show many things. I don't know. I don't know why I'm fucking droning on about my show. Whatever. There is a name for what I'm doing, though. It's called Breaking the Fourth Wall. Telling all you good people what's been going on, what is going on, what's been, is, and will go on. But yeah. Went to the hardware store earlier this morning. Well, not earlier this morning. About noon. There's nothing in my neighborhood on Sunday opens before noon. Except the grocery store. Did an online order for some gloves I use for work. Not a fan of going to that particular store to begin with, let alone dealing with weekend staff. Fuck. I walk in, and when you're picking up an online order at this hardware store, you don't have to wait in line. All you have to do is walk in because all the caches are right there at the front. Tell somebody you're there to pick up an order, and they look for the coveted red folder where all the manifests are for the online orders. So this kid finds mine, and he looks at his coworker and he says, and he goes, "Here, take this." And for fuck's sakes. B coworker looks at A coworker and goes, "Oh, did you want me to go get it?" Like, no, you fucking jerk off. He was just showing you the piece of paper for something to do. Oh, my God. Do you want me to go get it? I mean, really. Ah, well. It's I've seen other part-timers in that store. And who I've seen in the past far surpass these two lovely individuals, three actually, that I bore witness to today. The first guy that I spoke to, and then the second kid who he tried to go get my order, and then the third kid who actually processed it on cash, and I had to sign off on it and all that fun stuff, and off I went. All I got was 3 pairs of gloves. Oh, and I also get blades online too, utility knife blades. I'm not sure why, but whoever fulfills these orders on the back end feel the need to put gloves or like a 50-pack of utility knife blades or any amount of blades in a box that a pair of sneakers would fit in. I can't figure that out. So I looked at the poor soul on the cash this morning, and I said, you know what? I took my house keys out and I ripped the box open. I ripped open the tape, and I said, I'm going to give you a little gift today. You can keep the box because yeah, it's just gloves. So you want to talk about somebody who like did not look pleased at the fact that I was leaving him with the box my gloves came in. Oh, whatever. But yeah, weekend hardware store. I know. I we've all been there, right? Christ, my early jobs, my retail jobs, I sucked at them all. I had a job handed to me. When was it? It was after high school. After high school for sure. And it was at a music store. I knew the manager. She was a bit ahead of me in school. She had enough staff to cover like the rock section and all that kind of stuff and like whatever, like just like every other section except underground and like rave music, right? Because there was a section for that stuff, even though it was a small town. And she knew that was my scene, right? So even though she interviewed me, she's like, yeah, I need somebody. The job's yours. Where I fell short, I didn't work very many day shifts. My shifts were normally closing the joint. And I did it monumentally poorly. because I didn't know how to count the float for the day. Right? I couldn't grasp it. Because I had to there's your sales for the day that you have to count out, and you have to like all your float, right? Your float, all your denominations, your bill denominations, and how many of each you have, all your coin, and so on and so forth, and you got to throw that into an envelope. It's like a special envelope that once you seal it, you can't open it. That's your bank drop. So a lot of times I would just kind of muddle my way through the count. I mean, I can count. There was things about it that I wasn't quite grasping. So I would just say fuck it a lot of times and do the count. Walk across the parking lot to where the bank was. Drop the thing in the overnight envelope, overnight Dropbox thing, and be on my way. Did not work out well at all, ever. Like if somebody walked into that store in the evenings, and we could play music, that was cool too. So I'd pump some sort of dance CD or whatever. Man, I was so awful at it. I could ring people up, and that was fine, and everything like that. But if somebody walked in and they and asked me like, oh, do you have the new CD by such and such band? I'd be like, if we have it, it's over there. Because we had 2 or 3 rows of CDs right in the middle of the store, and however much feet dedicated to each category or whatever, and if they were looking for something that not a lot of people knew about, I would go over myself and look through the relevant areas and see if we had it. But the only thing I knew about that store was the new release wall and the rave section. To use a prison phrase, if somebody was looking for something in general population, right, in the main area, I was fucking clueless. Couldn't hang. My skills were isolated at best. I don't know. But I lived in a small town growing up, so in that environment, you get a lot of employment simply through knowing people or them knowing who you are, right? It's just the way it is. I worked at a gas station. I crashed and burned on that too. I was not good at it. I do not do retail. I cannot do retail. I learned when I left my hometown, however. Excluding my first office job, I had an affinity for office work. Why am I talking about my jobs? Fuck. But yeah, I don't know. Two lessons I learned. Inbound call centers are the devil to me. Working at them. And nowadays calling them. We can all agree on that. And the other lesson was outbound call centers was Shangri-La for me. Why am I refreshing? What the fuck? But yes, when I met the world of outbound call centers, that was brilliant. That was fucking brilliant. Loved it. Loved it. That's where I was introduced to not only entry level, but entry level work in the beginning, obviously. But then I had responsibilities bestowed upon me. I graduated to supervisory roles. So that was fun. I don't know if any of you out there are in the party scene, the after hours scene. Well, after hours is clubs. I suppose we can include that. The festival scene, the rave scene, right? Are you aware how many people right now are fucking pissed off? And do you know what the rhetoric is right now? Fucking stupidity. This fake DJ shit going around. Who gives a royal fuck? Lucky for us and the community, the omnipotable DJ Jazzy Jeff has offered his thoughts on this whole thing. And he's sitting back wondering what y'all are so cranky about. Is anybody else aware that for the last 23 minutes I've been doing nothing but ranting? Well, I've never been accused of being a pleasant person. Oh, well. Don't know where you are, but the cold weather, the cold fall weather has set in here in Canada, in Toronto. Happens every year. I'm a fall kind of girl. I don't do heat. I don't do fucking heat. And my job is absolutely death-defying in July and August. If it's like 30 degrees outside, it's at least 35 inside. I work in manufacturing. And I'm between two lines of production. And day or night, it's not a fucking picnic. It's not a fucking picnic. Doop doop boop 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 boop. Don't know if anybody can hear the music today, but if not, if you can just barely hear it, that's intentional. So anyway, just fucking around today, guys. I don't have an agenda. Have you I don't know if anyone's ever seen Deliverance. I never have. I've only heard about it. If you know it, it's the, but I've never seen it like me. You know it's the movie where the line "Come over here and squeal like a pig for me, boy" comes from. Well, I looked the thing up today because me and my partner were talking about it last night. She's never seen it and has no inclination to do so. But some sort of morbid curiosity has been in my mind on and off for a number of years. So I thought I would look up Deliverance this morning, today. See what it's all about. It seems innocent enough. It's a fucking camping trip down in Alabama in the U.S. A weekend away from the wives of these 4 guys who go on a fucking trip. And the kids and whatever, just get out and do stuff, right? But apparently the backwood folk that they encounter on their trip do not take kindly to the fact that they're in the area. And I guess there are a few choice moments in this movie. I'm told it's not scary, it's just fucked up. So, I'll try it on. You ever watch a movie just for the sheer sake of watching it because you've never seen it? That's what we're gonna do. So we shall see. I did that with what's his name? Shit, Brendan Fraser. With his award-winning recent feature film Whale, or The Whale, whatever it's called, wherein he plays a morbidly obese university professor, I think, or something. Employee at the grocery store that we go to told me about it, even though I already knew about it. He saw it and he asked me if I did. I said no. I said I only know about it because I saw Brendan Fraser on Howard Stern talking about it. So it basically ends there for me. So I tried it on, right? And I fucking hell. I want to see it. I want to try it. But I gave, maybe it was because I tried to watch it when I came home from a night shift. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't simply not awake. I don't know. But yeah, it didn't fly. But my friend at the grocery store did say that it's a slow fucking build, right? Which doesn't sound promising. I don't know. So yeah. I may or may not go back to Whale. I don't know. Can't say I really care enough. But yes. I was supposed to be working today. Because, yes, I was just talking about work. That's why I bring that up. Wish I was, but I don't make the rules. This is my weekend in, and this would have been my third of 3 shifts in a row. I'm normally off tomorrow and Tuesday and then go back in Wednesday after my weekend. But we all had the news bestowed upon us by noon yesterday that we were not in today. So, yeehaw, motherfucker. Oh well. Only shit part is the pay for today. But, oh well. I gotta pee. Hang on. Check. All right.
What's your reflection? What's your reflection? What's your reflection? Find your direction.
What's that? What's this? Oh, okay. Oh shit. I was just asking myself what this track was. I don't know if you follow as many things as I do. This is Lose Yourself, Juliet Fox. Alienator Records, Deila, Deila / Toxic DNA, same person. New music out. Where's my fucking... Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, Toxic DNA. Like I said, Alienator Records. New single's called Smash It. Available on Beatport and everywhere else you can think of. That was that was 2 days ago. Yeah. If you like it, fucking like unrelenting. If you like your unrelenting techno with a healthy dose of acid, go ahead and check out Toxic DNA. I know my phone's doing it no justice, but yeah. I forgot I put that on my shopping list, figuratively. I must remember to snag that track. If you go ahead and follow Toxic DNA on Facebook or anywhere else, the link for that track, the Beatport link is in her post for that release. So there you go. Yeah, I meant to remind myself to mention that. See what I mean? This is the fucking bugaboo I'm having right now. Cause like with categories and everything. The talk show thing, the music thing that I lived under for like a fucking year. But I could also, just after I told you about that release, I could talk to you about a new TV show or a new book release. So, yeah, I don't do just music. So you can see how I'm struggling with my own fucking show. You ever look through your folder and say to yourself, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? Mm-hmm, sure. See, this is fucking shit for radio. Well, kind of like if I was actually on real radio. Because how much dead air did I just have, despite the music? Oh well, hallmark of my show is quality non-content content. Everybody knows it. And under this new category, the more you're here, the more you're going to realize that we don't give a lot of fucks around here. Just for fun. Yeah. I'm not stressed out about it or anything, but this seems to be it's an unintentional common thread today for the show. On this category, none of you are going to know or like I've mentioned before that I got like mixing software to try my hand at it. Because half a month ago that was relevant. I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit now. My argument is I am not a DJ and I never claimed to be one, nor do I want to be one. So, yeah, I don't know. This is This is interesting. Like today, this is interesting even for me because I'm not used to so much of just my own voice, right? I'm used to musical accompaniment in some way, shape, or form, like constantly. It's basically been like music behind me has been a constant since I started. So it's it's fun, right? I mean, it adds to what we do around these parts. But so yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment when it ain't here. Like if I just play a song and stop. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Has anyone else besides me noticed that on weekends I do short shows? All the time. Hour, maybe 2 hours at most. Just come in, share a bunch of bullshit with you, and go away. I had the funniest idea, well, at least to me. What was it, last week? Haven't done it yet, but I want to do this. I did a bit of a morning show a week or so ago, and it was fun. And that got an idea in my head that I want to do I want to do 2 fake traffic reports. One for here in Toronto, and then one for my hometown. And I want to like do some fun stuff with that and post them online for like all my people back home and shit. Everyone back home, everyone in my hometown will love it. I'm trying to think of like a fake radio station or something that I can use, like just something totally made up. I don't know. Some talk show this is.
I know everything hasn't been quite right with me. But I can assure you now, very confidently, feel much better now. I can see you're really upset about this. I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly.
I do like the closer angle on the on the phone, on my camera. I like that.
I know I've made some very poor decisions recently, but I can give you my complete assurance that my work will be back to normal.
I wish I had more to say. Had more to say in the first half hour. I did get new hair. I'm loving it.
My mind is going.
I'm in the process of cutting my own.
My mind is
That hasn't happened for quite some time. Not in a long fucking time.
my mind is going. I can feel it.
What the fuck is this? Is this the... What is this? What the fuck is this? That's not the Thailand thing, is it? What the fuck? Can't tell. Sorry, I'm just resident advisor just posted an article about something. These raids recently that have been being carried out. What the fuck is this? Targeting people. Okay. Oh, in Hamburg. Okay. So Germany. Okay, Germany. Okay. Targeting people of West African origin. Full article at residentadvisor.com in their news section. What the fuck is this? You ever look at an article and go like I just did, like say to yourself, what the hell is this? I'm sure people in Hamburg know about this, but unfortunately, I do not. I don't know how far Toronto is away from Hamburg, but plus I don't follow actual news, so I'm not going to know about raids and the reasons behind them in Hamburg. But I am curious. Where was it? Again, resident advisor. Over the weekend I saw this. Chicago. I'm obviously I'm not from Chicago, but a lot of the music I was heavily in and still am heavily into the Chicago scene. Chicago is a staple in the rave scene, and has been for many years. Over the weekend, this DJ Crescendo, 28 years old, and his neighbor were stabbed. In DJ Crescendo's apartment. Crescendo was pronounced dead on scene, and his neighbor made it to the hospital only later on to die from his injuries. Resident Advisor, the article on Res Advisor is absolute shit. I don't know why they tell you to go to their site for the full article, because they put the whole fucking thing on Instagram anyway, in slides. You want the whole article? Go to Block Bar Chicago online. There's the whole story. Investigation's still ongoing. Apparently, this guy was a dear friend to a lot of people, and like I said, a staple of the queer club scene in Chicago. So the reasons for the stabbing, as yet undetermined. Not even a mention of a hate crime yet. It just happened over the weekend, so. Fucking sad. So if you want to read that story, again, don't go to Res Advisor. Don't go to Res Advisor. Look up Block Bar Chicago and you'll find the whole story there. With these new edits to the channel or to the show that I've been considering, normally because my schedule is so broken, I try to be on air or try to do a live stream every chance I can get, right? Because I have a midweek weekend, and I also have every second weekend off from Monday to Sunday. So I do have the luxury of a lot of days where I can come on air. But recently I decided that, like, why am I doing that? Because sometimes I come on and I'll do a show like I've done just like today, where I have absolutely fuck all to talk about. Right? Now, I know there are people in the world who get paid very well to do exactly what I'm doing right now, which is talk about absolutely nothing, right? And I'm actually fans of those individuals, right? But I just because sometimes there aren't a lot of things to talk about, especially when you're alone, like I am. Do you know how much effort it would take? I would have to be scouring news sites or pop culture magazines every waking moment of my life to have stuff to talk about with you people. And you know what? Even the people that do that, I have no idea. Well, I know how they do it. They don't do it themselves. They have teams of people who do it for them. But I'm not being paid to be here, and and I don't have a team of paid researchers. So, yeah. All that to say, sometimes when I was under the mindset of coming on every day that I have free, posed a bit of a challenge. So I've started to softly, when I have 2 days off or 3 days off, I'll take the fucking 2 days off, and I won't be here. I'll just do whatever. It's difficult sometimes. A little bit of refresh to give myself some stuff to talk about with you good people. Anyway. But yeah, I can tell you one thing. Well, a couple things. Apparently, kvetching about my show has been the common thread for today. And chatting or talk show and podcast will be I'll be more often in one of those two categories. And how often I'm here will be changing as well. I'm not going anywhere. It's just it's difficult. I need stuff to talk about, and sometimes whether you believe it or not, sometimes it's even difficult to come on here and do what I've done for the last hour with absolutely no topic in mind. It's hard. I know, whiny little bitch, aren't I? Yeah. But October should be interesting. I can say that. There's I have something in the works for October. October wasn't my choice. October was the option I was given, and I'm happy with that. That's fine. But there's a major change. I've talked about changes coming to the show all throughout today's hour, and October is going to see one of those changes. Hopefully for keeps, because I'm really looking forward to this. So stay tuned for that when we get that off the ground. All I will say is that if you don't follow the show on YouTube, go ahead and do so. That's all I'm giving you. I keep thinking about this this category change. As I've mentioned ad nauseum, my show is more than just music. But seeing as how music is a bit of an integral part of my show, as much as I enjoy the talk and the podcast categories, even though I haven't been here for a while, I know I've said it 100 times during the show today. Having lived in the music category for such a long time, even when I was doing my show on Instagram, my shit little fucking thing over on Instagram 3 years ago or so. Oh my God, it's September. Holy fuck, it's been 3 years this month. Holy shit. That just dawned on me. I've been doing my show for 2 years here on Twitch, but I started 3 years ago on Instagram. Holy fuck, that just hit me. Wow, okay. Holy shit. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the category thing, the music category thing. Music is a hallmark of my show. So as much as it might seem like a trivial edit to you good people, it's a weird transition when you're trying to, as I heard someone in the hip hop scene once say, get in where you fit in. I got into the music thing because that's who I fucking am, right? I'm a fucking raver at heart. I listen to I listen to a myriad of other things, but I built my presence on the rave community. Oh, speaking of that, it was supposed to be, what's this, Sunday. I was supposed to have a guest this past Wednesday. They fell ill, so we have to we have to etch out when they're going to be available again, given my job and their job, because we both have day jobs. But I'm going to be having a really special guest on the show very soon from my hometown. Somebody from my dance competition days. Someone I've known for many, many years, and he's a dear friend of mine from back east. So when I get word from him that he's feeling well again, he's not doing cool right now. He's got the vid. He's fine. He's fine. But yeah. So after I hash out some dates with him, we shall be going on my YouTube channel for that one. That's going to be fun. Because I have a lot of questions for him actually to do with what clubbing looked like in my hometown before I turned 19, right? And hopefully he can answer some of those questions for me. Because he's older than me, but only slightly. But anyway, yeah. Keep an eye on that one, guys. That'll be a fun show. That'll be really fucking fun. I know I've been doing a lot of bitching and kvetching for this hour, but like, I mean, I've virtually talked about absolutely nothing for a fucking hour. But this has been kind of fun. As my own mod says, hallmark of my show is quality non-content content. My mod / producer, as I call him.
Look, I need a hard hit, I need a deep stroke, I need a Henny drink, I need a weed smoke, not a garden snake, I need a king cobra with a hook in it, hope you lean, oh, you got some money, then that's where I'm headed.
Honestly speaking, going back to the category thing for the show, I might go back to music just because I'm so fucking used to it, and so is my entire audience. So, WAP, the pinnacle of America. Did you just call the entirety of the United States one big WAP? Oh no, actually, I shouldn't say WAP because that's something different. WAP. So the U.S. is one big WAP. The pinnacle of American culture. Jesus Christ, amazing. We're going to ride this out for 4 minutes and say goodnight, guys. I'm going to do a live remix of this and say there's some Karens in this house, referring directly to the U.S. Robin Williams once said in an interview, referring to North America, that Canada is like the suite apartment above a meth lab. And yeah, we ain't the best in the world, but we ain't the U.S. So we tip our hats to you, the world. People like us. We can go anywhere in the world and be liked and spoken to and smiled at. We can go to a foreign country, ask for directions, and get the correct ones. Oh, I'm in an okay mood. Okay, let's do another few minutes. We are the hat to the crackhead American. What? Eh? I don't know. Maybe another 15 or so. I don't know. Now that summer's over, maybe sometime soon, I can nail down someone I lovingly refer to as my Ottawa correspondent. I don't know where she's been lately, but I know she likes to camp. Need to have her on soon. See what's going on, because you know what, I know recently there's been some concerts she's gone to and stuff, and I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of a report on those. I'm not in Ottawa. I haven't lived in Ottawa for a number of years, so that might be fun. We all know who my friend is. We all miss her. So maybe sometime soon, when she can stop sleeping in a pile of dirt long enough to have a conversation, we shall have a visit by her. And that'll be lovely. Because she too is lovely. Oh, one thing I wouldn't mind rebooting, so to speak, is before I completely fucked my computer, I tried broadcasting and incorporating the Discord into the show, and it did work a little bit. But my computer at one point went completely tits up, and Discord didn't like it. So as I move forward with the ideas that I do have for the show, and the conversational elements that I want to enact, I wouldn't mind plugging in, so to speak, Discord again. So that might be fun.
Materialism, sexuality, being bedeviled by someone or something, wanting what is forbidden by convention or society, pandemonium, chaos, being ruled by the world of the senses, urges, destructive behavior, tapping into long-repressed desire. The devil. Urges. Desire.
See, this is why a music category works best for me. Because even though I do a lot of shit talk sometimes, this random jumping around of music that I sometimes engage in, this doesn't fucking work for talk show podcast or the chatting channels. Rihanna telling us, I do feel sorry for America at the moment, though. They have a year to decide if they want a garden gnome or a shit sandwich as their next president. Well, you know. Oh, something interesting that I came across the other day. At one point earlier this year, I believe it was, I was mentioning during a queer rant that I went on, because I can sometimes do that. Because it's my community. I was mentioning the fact that at that time, and probably loosely still now, there were, or are, what? Upwards of 317 anti-LGBTQ plus bills in Congress. I learned just recently now 70 compared to 317, like 70 against 317 might not seem like a big number. And for all intent and purpose, it's not in the grand scheme of things. But I recently learned that of those 317 anti-queer bills, 70 of them were passed. Welcome to America. Speaking of that, recently I learned of some protests, or a protest rather, that happened back in my home province of Prince Edward Island, Canada. Anti-trans protests. The nice thing was, I know people. I know people who I know important people back home, not government people or anything like that, but I know the person who runs the Prince Edward Island Trans Network. He's a dear friend of mine. And as much as the anti-trans protest did happen and its target was kids, so too was there a counter-protest. Now the sad part of all this is, on the anti-queer side, there were kids involved being supported by their parents. Like, that whole thing, right? What was the topic? It was basically to counter logic from when we were all in school in the 80s and 90s, let's come away from queer education for a second, and like alphabet mafia education in schools for a second. Let's come away from that. One of the arguments being protested was sex education in the school system. Now, I don't know who these parents are. Back where I grew up. But back when I was in school in the 80s and 90s, I remember when I was in grade 6 when that curriculum began, and all it took was a permission slip brought home to be signed, right? And there was only one instance, and it went from like grade 6 to grade 9 in the Prince Edward Island school system. And when I was in grade 6, when that curriculum began, I had two classmates, both girls, they were sisters in my class, who, for their own reasons, were not permitted to take part in that curriculum. And that's fair enough. I don't know. So they, when this topic in the class came up, they would leave the room. I don't know what they did, but they would leave the room because of their own reasons. And that was fine. They were a severely religious household, and that's great. Do what you want. But that is the only reason, or the only instance I had ever heard of in my time during school when reproduction or sex education of any sort had been quote-unquote challenged. And I was in school, well, I spent more time in school than I cared for because I just didn't care. So now, my argument to everyone doing the protest back home, just for fun, let's include queer and trans education in school as well as sex education. If it wasn't a problem when I was in school in the 80s and 90s, why do you not like it now? I don't fucking understand. I posted about this on my Facebook. All of a sudden I had a friend of mine from high school start talking to me about Drag Story Hour and stuff. I'm like, mate, that's not what I'm talking about. He was like, oh, if it's my kid, I have a right to know what's being taught in the classroom and all that stuff. Well, that's a fine argument, and I don't challenge that whatsoever, not for a second. No, go ahead, boo boo, do you, motherfucker, right? I don't challenge that whatsoever. But to all the parents back home right now, which would you rather? Would you rather it be taught at school, like me and my peers did, over 20-some years ago? Or would you rather your angelic little creatures learn it on the street? Take your pick. By the way, welcome new follower Johnson TK. How you doing? Welcome to the show. Well, no, I never said sex ed had anything to do with gender, though. Reproduction does, but sex ed doesn't. No. I suppose I can agree with your regarding it as extracurricular. Because I did say that when we started it when I was in school, that's why a permission slip had to go home. So, yeah, it wasn't. I don't know if it was mandatory or not, because I was in grade 6 and that wasn't something I thought about. So if it was compulsory, I have no idea. I don't know. It's just my parents had no issues with me being exposed to it. The protests were regarding learning about my community, so LGBTQ plus and everything and whatever comes with that, whatever they deem fit for the classroom. I don't know. I didn't design the curriculum, but the protests involved sex education in the classroom, and basically, I can assume anything to do with queer culture. That's what I can surmise. I don't know. Maybe a bit of queer education could do our young minds a little bit of good, right? In the right hands. Because maybe, just maybe, little Johnny sometimes feels like he's Jane and doesn't know why. I'm not talking about medication or anything, but maybe helping that young mind process and walk through their own thoughts wouldn't be such a bad thing. Some of us as adults can't even do that. I can attest to that as someone who came out or realized she was trans in her in her adulthood after 29 years of self-suppression and not knowing what the fuck was going on in her own mind and nobody to talk to. Well, no, opt in or opt out, sure, yeah. Of course, yeah. No, I agree, yeah. Well, forcing this stuff on people, I don't know if that's the idea. I don't know. I'm not back on PEI right now, so fuck. I haven't been a student for over 20 years, right? Let alone elementary school. So I don't know what's going on in the curriculum right now, so I can't really. I can't speak to the fact as to whether or not it's been made mandatory. I can assume not. I can maybe it's being posed as curriculum, and that's where the pushback is coming from. I have no idea. I honestly I don't. So I don't have a dog in this fight other than the fact that I'm part of this community. Right? And let's be honest. all the protesters are outside the community, but they are parents, right? So, I don't know. If the idea to the different school boards, respectively, if their goal is to include this kind of curriculum in the school system, yes, of course, give the parents an opt-in or opt-out option. I can support that. Do you, right? But if that is passed and this and queer education becomes a part of the curriculum, to the population who do approve it on the parent level, you know what I mean? The parents who do approve it, what might be a good idea is have, what do you call it? Have a summit or like a school board meeting or a town hall, whatever you want to call it, where all the parents of approval or all the parents that approve of this curriculum can be present and be included in what's discussed in the classroom, right? That I can live with. Make it almost like a quasi-democracy sort of thing, right? Have presented by the school boards to the parents what the proposed curriculum is for queer education, coming away from sex ed for a second. Have presented by the school boards of my province to the parents what the proposed topics are, and have a voting process. And then go from there. Because, like I said a second ago, would you like it to happen in a closed, controlled environment like an education system? Or at home? Or, like me and my folks did, learn it on the fucking street? And just to entertain the parental idea for a second, okay, let's say there is a small population of parents that do agree that this should be taught in classrooms. Okay, let's run with that for a second. Okay, cool. But, much like bullying, everything starts at home. Home is the nucleus, right? So, if you're an approving parent of this curriculum, I would hope that those same approving parents do their own research as best they can muster to help their kid along, right? Do their own research, find out things, involve their kid at home to learn about these things, regardless of if they're in the community or not. If it all starts at home, like every negative issue in a school system, everything starts at home. If everything starts at home, then start it at home. Or include home. For anyone who's going to see this on the VOD or listen on SoundCloud when I get it there, as we're closing off the show with a mere 10 minutes, with a mere 4 minutes remaining, I should say, everything I just said is solely my view on this. I am not a parent. I do not have children. I never wanted them, never had any inclination toward that idea. But I stand by my stance that, like I said a minute ago, would you rather it happen in the classroom or on the street? And if you want to tell me I have my views because I'm trans, that's only part of it. Even if I wasn't trans, I'm 45 and I've been surrounded by the queer community since I had a pulse. And to that community specifically, I've seen the ramifications, and I'm sure some of you, hopefully some of you have seen also the ramifications of what can happen when certain individuals don't have the proper guidance that they should. Whether at home or anywhere else. A little Diana Lordana for 120 seconds. I never said push it. I think that's we're going to end on this. I think where the divide is, I think where we're misunderstanding each other, is this stuff isn't being forced on anyone back home. This isn't being forced. But I think where the misconnection back home is simply by posing this curriculum as a possibility. Certain parents back home right now are looking at that as an idea forced upon them. So you might be on point with that. So it's a bit of a miscommunication, shall we say? Nobody is forcing anything on anybody. Education is the idea here, not shoving anything down anyone's throat. And good for you on that. Yeah. Talking today's society. Yeah. You're talking in a grand scale. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, kind of. So, do you regard every event, like, do you regard Stonewall as shoving things in people's faces? I don't want to talk about this anymore. I don't want to talk about this anymore. We can save this. We can save this for another day. I'm past this. It's this conversation, no matter who it involves, just tends to circle and circle and circle. It ends up being a fucking pissing contest of logic, right? And there never are any clear winners. And whether we like it or not, the communities at the root of these conversations are always the ones that suffer, unfortunately. So, yeah, I'm going to end it there today, guys. What's this, Sunday? I'm off until Wednesday. So, Jesus Christ, I didn't intend on going on for so long about the fucking things I went on about my community, but shit happens, right? I do appreciate everyone who has hung out with me tonight, whether actively or inactively. I appreciate you all for being here, and thank you to new followers. I hope you'll come back and enjoy the show. Probably won't be in the just chatting or talk categories again, because the music category just feels right for some reason. Even though I do a lot of talking, there's always music for everybody to enjoy, hopefully. So I do appreciate you all for being here. Other than that, I'm going to fuck off for today. I wish you all well in your travels, wherever you might be. And I hope you have a great evening or morning or night or wherever the hell you are. So we'll see you tomorrow, guys, or Tuesday or something. I don't know. I'm off for 3 days, so we'll figure it out. Keep an eye on your notifications. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.